There's no one like you, and there never will be.
From the producer of Bohemian Rhapsody, there are many legends, but there is only one. Michael, rated PG-13, in theaters April 24.
Refreshing wild cherry cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Okay, quiet. That's enough. This is a podcast by my dad and my uncle. They talk a lot about music, like a lot. So please sit back and enjoy. I think they are going to start in about 14 seconds. Hi there, and welcome to another episode of BG's Broken Records. My name is Bob.
I'm Gare.
And guess what? Another week, mano y mano.
Oh, you're right there. You're right there. I'm looking at you right there.
And I'm glad you're not just giving me a little slap in the face. So Gary was kind enough on a Friday afternoon to make a truck all the way across Metro Detroit so we could sit mano y mano, because you know what he said to me? He said, it's better when we're together.
It's so true. So true.
Because laughter on video call is not as funny as laughter face to face.
Contagious, Bob. It's contagious. When you're sitting, it's contagious.
Can you spell it? FACETO, FACE, face to face. Sorry.
Ho!
Well, hold on. Is there a rim shot in here?
Wait.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Wrong button. There we go.
Hey.
All right. Couple things. Summer, almost over.
True.
Nice September weather, though.
Beautiful.
For Michigan. I'll take it right now.
Yep.
Please subscribe.
Please.
Please send this to 2 friends.
Yes. Please.
Third thing, go see live music.
Support local live music. Yes, indeed.
So what did we see last week? Don't me. I saw him almost 30 years ago to the day at St. Andrews Hall, and then we went to the Magic Bag and we saw...
Yes, we...
Oh my God, Fear, dude. Where is your head? Put your phone down and start recording.
Negative Approach was there, and I was trying to spit it out, and then the Fear... Yeah. So it was the Stools. Negative Approach.
Yep.
Couldn't understand a word they said. Fear. Yeah. So I was texting with Will, and I said, hey, went and saw Fear.
Will.
Out west, Will.
Oh.
And he was like, whoa. He goes, was it good or was it kind of sad? And I said, not sad.
Good.
I said, Lee Ving is
71.
73. I don't know if it's sad on his part. He sounded great. He seemed to be into it. And Will was like, oh, okay, cool.
You know what? When I saw, so I went with Pat down to the State Theater when it was still called the State Theater in Detroit.
Okay.
So for people who are out of the city of Detroit, it's an old movie theater. It's about 1,700 people can go to the theater. They've knocked out all the chairs, and there's a big stage. So you've got the State Theater at 1,700. Then next door you've got the Fox, which is the classic theater, which is the sister theater to the Fox in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
correct.
And Illich just turned that place into just
the palace that it once was.
Oh my God, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Unbelievable.
If you ever come to Detroit, you've got to somehow get into the State Theater, because you've got the reds and the golds and the brocade, and you've got the opulence and the whole thing.
Sensory overload.
So, and that's about 4,500, I think.
The Fox is 5,000.
5,000.
Masonic is like 4,400, 45.
Which is another great venue, and I've only seen one band there.
You and I saw Al Green there.
Al Green, the Reverend.
Which was a good show.
Oh, my God.
Passing out roses to the ladies in the front row.
Flinging his sweat on people in the front row. Remember that?
It was a great show, though.
It was a great show.
Yeah.
So we went to the Magic Bag in Ferndale to see Fear. But to me, the big takeaway from that night was that first band. There was a triple bill, the Stools, local band, Negative Approach, which is also a local band.
True.
And Fear came out of L.A. But the Stools, if you ask me, they were tight. They were good. They were energized.
Young guys.
25.
Mm-hmm.
Your son knows knows of
he
them.
used to skateboard with them.
Yeah,
Yep.
which I find ironic as
Which
hell.
is funny, yeah.
I'd love to talk to him because we gave out a couple business cards to him. And
We saw their mom, the one
their
leads
parents, yeah.
mom and dad
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
street.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
huge supporters of him.
Hey, we'd like them on the podcast. Should we call him? No, he'll do it.
Yeah, yeah.
His
Well-
mom's like, sure. Yeah, no, he'll do it.
We'll hear from
Yeah.
him hopefully. But I thought their music was great. They were tight.
Yep.
And I'd love to know in 2023, I can see bands like that in 1982 with Black Flag and Circle Jerks and all that stuff. Where did they get their
At that age.
pull?
Yeah.
It's like Greta Van Fleet, who I went to see with JW down at where did I see him? LCA. So
Correct.
that's Little Caesars Arena, which is a brand new theater, brand new sports arena downtown Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Half hockey, half basketball, but the big concert venue downtown. So that's 17,000 people. And these guys are 25 years old and they're playing Zeppelin-esque stuff,
Right.
which is amazing because, unless your parents are blasting Zeppelin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all the time.
That's a great point. But where do they get this
Influence.
Yeah.
You know? I love it, but it's three brothers. So, they just got on YouTube and started watching Queen and Bowie and Zeppelin and Who
Sure.
and all this
and
stuff.
The theatrics of it all. And yeah.
But damn, they are talented. So again, going back, the Stools, I thought were a great band. I just love to know where they get their mojo from.
Great question.
Yeah.
Great for especially, again, guys that young.
Yeah.
So great question.
So I'm going to get one of them on the podcast, or two of them, or
Yeah, right
maybe
on.
three,
Right on.
and we're going to get them. So Kelly Stolz,
Oh, yes.
I sent him a note the other day. He said he's up for an interview.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yep. So we just got to nail that one down, which is awesome. Just listening to his other album called parentheses, etc. So
That's
seriously,
funny.
It is funny.
That's
so
good.
I just listened to the Dukes of Stratosphere a
Oh,
few
yeah.
minutes before.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got the XTC right there.
Blast from the past.
And
there.
then I threw on Kelly's album, and the third song in, I'm like, this is XTC.
Oh, funny.
So you can hear a lot of his influences on that one LP. Now, and I'm jumping ship all over the place. A few episodes back, we were talking about blocking and relevancy
Yep.
of bands.
Yep.
Rick Beato does a video called What Makes a Song Great.
Okay.
So he did Mayor of Simpleton by XTC. At the very end, he made a point of saying, I got the music, the file from XTC. I asked them for it. I told them what I was doing. They sent it to me.
Of course.
That is flippin' smart.
Well, and they looked Rick up. The guy, the guy's brilliant.
Exactly.
His podcaster, and they looked him up and said, "Yeah, this guy's probably the real. He is the real deal." And let's send it to him.
They had done seven. I think it was like the 75th one that he had done.
Okay.
Of that, but so that's by the by. So that's a band that's going to stay a little more relevant. You need
That's
another
cool.
espresso, dude. You keep yawning.
I know. Do you see me
is
trying
it because
to?
I don't let you get a word
Do
in
you see me
edgewise?
trying to keep it in? Like then, as I'm gritting my teeth. Yes,
Okay,
I'm
so-
almost sleepy today.
Okay, so live music. So then I saw Duran Duran down at LCA again.
Correct.
With a buddy of yours. A very close friend of yours.
Yes.
Yes.
My roommate.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. Fantastic show. Nile Rodgers warming up got 17,000 people on their feet.
All the reviews I read on that show, they just kept talking about him. They just said,
Well-
now Rogers just brought it.
Okay, but I'm going to say the Duran Duran songs that I did not know were still great. They are a great band. Take out Hungry Like a Wolf and Rio and all that stuff. They're still a great band.
Backing track?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
They might have fed a little something in, but I don't know. And,
Okay.
And Andy Taylor, the guitar player, was not in the band.
Oh, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Oh.
But
Okay.
Roger Taylor, the drummer, was, which surprised me. But I think they've been on this tour for a year and a half, according to Brian McCallum at the Freep, who is also a great reviewer. I've always enjoyed reading his stuff.
Then Andy's supposed to join him. I thought it was going to be on sometime.
Maybe
there's a little,
maybe when they go back to England or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, one thing. I said I had a retraction, but I got a note from our friend Craig, and it was an email that actually went to our website, said, Bob, a retraction is pulling something back. A correction is what you did. And I said, okay, he's 100% correct.
We're still learning.
We're still learning. So I have a correction from last week's podcast, which is Bernie Marsden did not play in Uriah Heep. He was in Whitesnake.
God, how could you make that mistake, Bob?
I did. Mick Box is the guitarist from Uriah Heep.
Thank you.
So in honor of Mick Box still being alive, I went down to the basement and pulled out Uriah Heep Live, which is a double album, which is pretty damn good.
Which is what everyone should do. And Double Live, where was this recorded? Is it say live at Wembley?
No, I don't
73?
know. I don't know where it was recorded, but Record Collector had it as one of the top 10 live albums from 1973.
Wow.
And it was pretty good. Okay, that's it. Bernie Marsden. Talked about Duran Duran and the Stools. Go. What do you got?
Well, on September 17th, Jan Wenner, our favorite from Rolling Stone in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, did a little interview with the New York Times.
Oops.
Whoops. And he was promoting his new book called The Masters, which features interviews with Dylan, Jerry Garcia, Mick Jagger, John Lennon, Bruce Springsteen, Pete Townsend, and U2's Bono.
So it's all reprints of interviews he's done over the years.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's okay. That's fine. Where we're at in 2023, someone looks at that list and goes, hey, they're all white guys. Okay. And if Jan was smart, he would have said, well, yeah, these are the ones that I thought were the most important, which is kind of what he was trying to say, but it just didn't come out that way.
Not even close.
So Dummy says...
Oh, wait a minute. Are you allowed to call someone dummy?
Oh, I don't. So...
Knucklehead.
So someone who didn't turn his filter on.
Yeah.
So they asked him, like, hey, why didn't you interview any women or black musicians? And he responded, it's not...
Hold on. How did he respond, baby? Record scratch.
And he responds by saying, quote, it's not that they're inarticulate, although they have a deep conversation with Grace Slick and Janis Joplin. Huh? Please be my guest. You know, Joni Mitchell was not a philosopher of rock and roll. She didn't, in my mind, meet the test. Okay. What about the black artist, Jan? Well, you know, Stevie Wonder, genius, right? I suppose when you use a word as broad as masters, the fault is using that word, maybe Marvin Gaye or Curtis Mayfield. I mean, they just didn't articulate at that level. Oh, my God. All you had to say was, I'm going to be writing multiple books, and this first book is going to concentrate on these guys. But we've got one coming or you know what? These are my favorites, and these were the ones that I wanted.
Put in there.
But he uses words like articulate, and in turn, they kicked him off the board
of the Rock and Roll
Hall of Fame.
And I give applause to that one.
Right. Which... he should. And I think looking at him, I think he's just kind of getting old. And
the filter disappeared.
I know what he's trying to say here, but he could not have been more wrong in his approach and how he did it.
You can't say anything anymore. I mean, I'm surprised we didn't get a ton of mail when I screwed up that Bernie Marsden comment.
Well, and let's end on the positive for Chit Chat. Who's coming out with a new beer? Sammy Hagar, the Red Rocker Lager. And he has no affiliation to Detroit, but they're going to be brewing it downtown where they brew Kid Rock's Badass Beer and Stroh's.
Okay, so I walk through the stores
Red Rocker Lager.
And I see Snoop Dogg wine.
Oh.
Give me a little bit of a break.
Yeah, what's that called? It's called...
I don't know.
Criminal or something? Or
Oh, yeah, great. So I want a glass. Give me a glass of Criminal. The Malbach, though, please.
You know what's crazy? I'm going to buy a bottle of that, and I bet it tastes pretty good.
How many manufacturers are there, and how many... Say there's 1,000, but there's 10,000 labels out there on bottles. But that's exactly what Sammy's going to do. He's going to brew the same stuff that Kid Rock does, put a different label on it, or Atwater's going to...
But dude, look at George Clooney and Randy Gerber, what they sold their tequila for. You had Ryan Reynolds, who sold his Aviator gin. Yeah. You got to put your name on it, make it a decent product, and you're going to make $1 gajillion. I mean, Kajillion. That's a lot of money.
How many zeros in there?
That's a lot.
There you go. Okay, here we are.
And we have to give credit to Pammy for this subject. Pammy, this credit is for you. No one. So
Obviously, I found my buttons here.
come push my buttons.
Hey, whoa.
So whoa. So what we're doing here today, no order, no lists, ones that
And no
we like.
outline, no nothing.
No, nothing. This is what we feel are some of the best movie soundtracks.
But I'm going to start by, I hope I don't screw you up because I don't look at Gary's notes. He doesn't look at mine. He doesn't know where I'm going. I don't know where he's going.
Correct.
Okay. No brainers here. I say we skip them unless you have info on it. Purple Rain.
Oh,
We know it's a great soundtrack.
phenomenal.
Okay. Oh, you've got it.
Well,
You've got notes on it.
I've got it.
Okay, well, hold on. Saturday Night Fever. We know it's a great soundtrack. Do we need to talk? Oh, shit, he just flipped the page to more notes. Those are no-brainers. Okay, I'm going to do another one.
Wait, you're not talking Saturday Night Fever where the Bee Gees weren't even involved until post-production. Ooh. And during the filming of it, John Travolta was dancing to Stevie Wonder and Boz Scaggs.
Skaggs.
And they wanted to use a Boz Scaggs tune. He passed. Good move.
Good move, Boz.
Yeah.
Does anyone know that guy anymore?
No.
Okay, then Footloose. You didn't cover Footloose, did you?
No, I did not.
Oh, thank God.
Did not.
Thank God. The Graduate.
I had it on my list, but I didn't deep dive on it.
Okay, because it's Simon and Garfunkel. Other than that, it's...
I got Blues Brothers, and my last one was Goodfellas.
Okay, I've got Goodfellas, too. What about 8 Mile? You didn't do 8 Mile.
I didn't do 8 Mile, but it's on my... I've got a list. I wrote out about 25 of them, and then I went and deep dived like on 4 of them. We only have 30 minutes.
No, I know, and we're already at 17. So we're gonna have to, we might have to go to 33 minutes here. I look at it as what soundtracks would I put in my collection and pull out and listen to?
It's a good way.
I don't have a lot of Prince, so I don't have Purple Rain.
Right.
I don't mind Saturday Night Fever, but I don't have it. I sure as shit don't have Footloose.
No.
I don't have 8 Mile, and I don't have The Graduate. Although I've got the box set of Simon and Garfunkel, which is phenomenal.
Actually, Howard Stern, I was on the way over. He did a good interview with Paul Simon this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So besides those, then you've got, those are modern. You've got top 20 classics of all time. But you're never going to pull any of these out. You're never going to pull out Schindler's List soundtrack. You're never going to pull out Dances with Wolves, Jurassic Park, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
You'll think about it.
Any Harry Potter
but you
album.
won't do it.
No, you won't do it. The Godfather. Seriously, I gave you the list. Name me one song off of any of the... You know what?
Let's go to what matters. Bob, what was the lake in Purple Rain that Apollonia jumped into to purify herself? That would be Lake Minnetonka. Okay? Then after she purified herself, then Prince motorbikes with her for the first time.
Nice.
Whoa.
Hey, huge album.
Huge album.
How many?
Well, this was 1984, 15 songs, sold 25 million albums.
25 million?
25 million.
Holy shite.
With the hit tunes, I Would Die For You, Take Me With You, Purple Rain, When Doves Cry, just to mention. And I got to take...
That's a lot of tunes.
Take Me With You, that's pretty good. Now, the First Avenue nightclub, which is in downtown Minneapolis, I've walked by it. They've got all the bands painted on the side. I found the replacements. They paid them $100,000 to say, hey, we want to have your club in the movie. And they were like, okay, cool.
And they paid him $100,000.
Paid him
for it.
$100,000.
Yeah, but you didn't know it was going to be such a big...
No, not at all. And the movie was terrible, by the way.
See, I never saw it.
Terrible. It was terrible.
Okay, never saw
but
it.
the music was
The music
great.
was great. And I agree with you. I just don't own it.
The tune, Purple Rain, good tune.
Good tune.
Take Me With You, great tune.
See, I'm more of a fan of Raspberry Beret by the Hindu Love Gods. Remember that one?
Oh, nice.
That's
dude.
a good one.
Okay. Well, I'm going to jump around and for things that's going to put a smile on your face. So the best quotes from the Saturday Night Fever movie.
Okay, first off, give us how many sold, what year.
1977, 40 million sold, 17 songs on the soundtrack.
Okay. So, but think about that. The Bee Gees in 75 put out Main Course, which I still think is one of the greatest albums of all time and changed modern music. I think
Awesome.
I think
Awesome
it
album.
created with Nights on Broadway, Fanny Be Tender with My Love, which is a great tune, but Nights on Broadway, but they made a sound. They created a sound.
Jive Talking? Was that on
Jive Talking.
Okay.
And they recorded it in the same house in Florida where Clapton did 461 Ocean Boulevard.
Oh, you've told me that before.
Clapton said, "Hey Barry, go use this house. I got great results out of it."
Good vibes in
Right?
this place.
But so you have Main Course, then you've got Saturday Night Fever, and I know disco was coming in at that point, but that album changed music forever.
Best-selling record in music history prior to the release of Thriller. It's been added to the National Recording Register Library of Congress.
Sure.
And we've always, we did an episode on one-hit wonders and all that stuff. If you're a musician and you're coming to the end of your career or whatever it is, and you get added to the Library of Congress, you're a complete badass.
Yeah.
In a musician's hierarchy of their legacy,
Yeah.
that to me is you could sell 100 million albums. The Library of Congress thinks we need to take you and preserve. I thought that was pretty cool.
I'll give you that one.
Second biggest selling soundtrack of all times. But again,
Behind what?
behind Thriller.
Oh, but that's not a soundtrack. Even though we made a 23-minute movie on it, maybe that's why they consider it that way.
That's what I had. We'll get back to you people next week. We'll have to, yes. But the best quotes from that movie. He hits my hair. Watch the hair. Tonight is the future. Do you remember when he's sitting at the dinner table?
I've never seen the movie.
Oh, Bob. Another terrible movie.
Yeah, exactly. I think I started watching one time. I'm like, it's so bad.
Basically, Stephanie says to Tony, I'm sick of you guys who don't have their shit together. Tony says, well, you need a salad bowl and a potato masher, and then you got your shit together.
Oh, Jesus.
Poetry, my man.
Yeah, right.
Poetry.
Now, if you hear dogs walking by, it's because two dogs just walked by.
Oh, okay.
And someone's behind you going to probably just thwack you in the back of the head.
Well, that's fighting words.
Yeah, no, he's not going to do it. Okay, so what else about Saturday Night Fever?
About it. Staying Alive, Night Fever, Jive Talking were all some of the bigger hits that came off of it.
I'm going other end of the spectrum. I'm going to albums that you've never, soundtracks. Andrew, pulls this out freshman year in college. Never heard of it before.
Nice.
The soundtrack to The Harder They Come, starring Jimmy Cliff, in the movie, which the movie got 4.5 stars.
Okay.
I've tried to sit through it. I haven't been able to do it yet. The title song, Harder They Come, You Can Get It If You Really Want It, Many Rivers to Cross, Johnny Too Bad, Sitting in Limbo. The album is unbelievable. And I mean, look at that cover art. That cover art is fantastic.
I'd wear that T-shirt.
You'd wear that hat too.
Oh, I'd wear the poor boy hat.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
wear that. Yeah, God.
Dude, that album, phenomenal. Jimmy Cliff, The Harder They Come. I will create a link. I can find this, put it as a link. You've got to listen to it. I used to listen to this album when I was riding my bicycle up to the pond in Hampstead Heath.
Sure.
I'd put it on my phone. I'd turn it on. I'd ride up there. It was awesome. So this one goes back to when I was, I think, in 10th grade.
Okay.
So Tommy got this one, and I love this album. To me, this is just and I'm going to slide it to Gare, a classic snapshot of early 80s new wave post-punk.
Oh, my God. Look at this.
So the movie was terrible.
Terrible. Another terrible movie.
Susie Quattro, Rock Hard, Pretenders, Talk of the Town, Same Old Scene, Roxy Music, Down in the Park, Gary Newman,
Joe Jackson,
Life During
Reed,
Wartime, The
Ruts.
Head, Talking Heads,
The Cure.
XTC, Take This Town. The Times Square soundtrack is fantastic.
Wow,
The
this
only
looks
song
pretty
I don't
funny.
like is Pissin' in the River by Patti Smith.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The lead actress even does a duet called Damn Dog, which,
Robin Johnson.
yeah, it's actually not that bad.
I Want to Be Sedated, the Ramones. That's my favorite Ramones tune.
The whole thing is
God, Gary Newman. There's a lot going on here.
yeah, it's a fantastic album. Love that album. Now, those are two albums I would pull out. The next two I'm going to mention, I don't think I would pull out. Oh, you know what? Soundtracks. Got to mention The Big Chill. Do you remember when that came out in 83?
We spun that the turntable exploded. We spun that so hard.
Okay, I didn't realize this. It's all Motown tunes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I didn't get that at the time.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how many it sold. I didn't look that up. I think, and I will argue this one, that it helped create the classic rock format for like Detroit for radio across the country.
Okay.
Before that, 83, you didn't have WCSX doing their stuff. The only way we used to get our classic music was Chuck Roast on Sundays on WRIF.
And we've already talked about
And his
this
brother,
before.
Pork Roast.
Well, there's pork and Weenie Roast.
Weenie Roast.
Dude, that was a funny. And he'd play that one song, Scramble Eggs.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Oh, we'll get back to you on that one.
That was the only way to get non-current songs back then. You know, if I wanted to hear the Small Faces, nobody in the early 80s played the Small Faces. You could only listen to it on Chuck Roast.
All right. Side note. So back to Saturday Night Fever.
Oh, geez, we're jumping
This
all
was,
over.
well, okay, the soundtrack was released in 77, RSO Records. Prior to the release of Thriller by Michael Jackson, Saturday Night Fever was the best-selling album in music history.
Okay, so it's
album. I said soundtrack. Album.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but Bob challenges me. Jeez.
Sorry.
Jeez.
At least we're not swinging at each other.
Competitive, right. Okay.
Okay, so the Big Chill. So, but it was all Motown stuff.
And who was the beginning character when they were dressing the dead person in the beginning of Big Chill?
You're not talking about the one who went the furthest in his career, Kevin Costner. You don't even see him.
No, they
show his arms or whatever.
Yeah. That's a great piece of trivia.
Oh
man.
yeah, huge. Here's another soundtrack that I think broke a couple of people, but I probably necessarily wouldn't own the album to listen to it because there's too much dialogue in there. And you pulled it out too, Pulp Fiction.
Well, I had it on my list. I didn't deep dive on it.
Yeah, I didn't deep dive on it either. But
is there a lot of talking through that?
Yeah, they've got you've got Ezekiel 3:14 when Samuel L. Jackson does his little dirge at the end.
Play the music.
Exactly.
Right.
But let's think about it. It broke Urge Overkill.
Yes.
Doing the cover of Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon by Neil Diamond. They did Chuck Berry. It really made Dick Dale popular again.
Brought him back to the forefront.
Brought him back. I saw him on tour right after that.
How was that show?
It was good. Dude, he was a shredder.
Yeah.
He was a shredder.
And no vocals. Never had
vocals.
Okay.
Played it upside down and backwards.
And where did you see him? Did you go with Chip or did you?
I'm sure I went with Chip. In Dick.
Was it like a Ritz of Roseville kind of?
No, it was the bowling alley downtown.
Oh, Majestic.
Majestic Theater, yeah.
Okay.
What do I have about Pulp Fiction? It's not great all the way through, but it broke Urge Overkill, who I saw live. And I mentioned that to you last week. I never thought I saw him. Then I found a concert stub ticket. I actually don't think I went to the show. I think I might have missed
Urge?
that.
You're talking Urge?
Yeah, because I think I would
I
have remembered
swore
that
we
one.
saw him in Chicago.
Oh, also, remember when they brought back Dusty Springfield, made her popular again.
100%. Well, and also Pet Shop Boys.
And Pet Shop Boys.
Threw her on.
Right.
Yeah.
But they had Son of a Preacher Man in there. Dick Dale toured afterwards, doing Miserlou and the Tornadoes, busting surfboards. So again, I'm not going to listen to the album. Man, did it covered a lot of stuff, a lot of genres, and it made some people famous again, popular again.
But the first time you saw that movie was awesome.
Unbelievable.
Like it was.
You didn't know where you were going.
They were all over the boards. The language, the violence, the action. You walked out of there exhausted.
Bruce Willis and
all the different
Bruce Willis.
But all the different side stories, and you're trying to connect them in your brain.
How about being, hey, Ving Rhames, do you want to be a character in this film? Yeah.
Well, here's what you got to do.
Yeah. Stand with your back to the camera and put a Band-Aid on the back of your head for every shooting.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a great film.
Tarantino. And
have you watched 1994, have you watched it again lately?
No.
Have you? Okay.
No.
Either have I.
But I did you see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes.
I thought that movie was great.
Yeah. He does a great job using music.
Yes.
In films. So that takes me to Goodfellas.
Oh.
Goodfellas. Again, I'm not going to pull it out, but the songs that they play are of the time in the film.
Well, and reading the article, as you were just talking about Tarantino, Scorsese, his whole career, he's been phenomenal with weaving the music into where there's no dialogue in the scene. And
Oh, yeah.
they're playing Clapton and the two people were killed in the Cadillac and the camera's coming up on, he's unreal. I mean,
So in the beginning, you've got Bobby Vinton doing his songs in the 50s scenes or the early 60s scenes, and then you've got the hippie stuff.
I got some great quotes here.
But at the end, when Henry Hill is going off the rails, right?
Right.
You've got that one part of Nielsen, one of his songs off his Nielsen Schmielsen album. You know the song. I can't remember what the title is. And then it segues into...
Is that when the helicopter's chasing him?
Yeah, the helicopter's chasing him.
Oh, God, what a scene.
Right?
It's all coked up.
And then what about, they do the coda, which is the outro to Layla, when everybody starts getting shot after the big heist.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah,
everybody starts falling. I was like, holy shit. And then when he was getting chased by the helicopter, he pulls in George Harrison, What is Life? Great job on that one.
But some of the great quotes from that movie, as far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. I like that one. Let's see. Never rat on your friends and always keep your mouth shut. That was with De Niro when he was young, walking out of court.
Oh, yeah.
With him.
When he slipped money in his pocket.
But the best quote was from Jimmy Two Times. I'm going to get the papers, get the papers.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy Two Times.
It's simple, but I love that.
I joked that my younger son would say everything twice. We called him two times. We did for a little bit.
Well, Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Paul Sorvino. Unfortunately, Ray Liotta and Paul Sorvino have both passed. But I love this one quote when they said, The Sopranos, there's more soprano actors in Goodfellas than you can count on both brass-knuckled hands.
Sure. I like that. Well, Goodfellas was supposed to break Ray Liotta. It was supposed to make him a star, but it didn't.
It didn't.
He got typecast.
Yeah.
He's like Bob Denver. He was committed the rest of his life to Gilligan's Island.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
Mike Brady, what was his name? Robert Reed?
Robert Reed.
Yeah, he was a classical actor. He was on stage doing Hamlet and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So Goodfellas, 1990, 12 songs, 3 million albums sold, CDs.
3 million?
That's what it said.
Yeah. Well, I get that. You're not going to want to listen to a soundtrack that goes from Bobby Vinton to...
But you know what? Going through these numbers, Saturday Night Fever, 40 million sold. Then you flip over to Blues Brothers, 1980, 19 songs, 3,980,000 sold.
Okay. I've got two things that we might want to end with, Gare.
Disco pants and haircuts?
I do love that line. I do love
the new Oldsmobiles are in early this year?
Okay. If you bought one of these, I bet you could put a stereo with a turntable in your living room. Oops. Sorry. Take a look at this. It is a 6 LP box set of all the greatest songs from John Hughes' films of the 80s. Flip that thing over. It's got everything.
Wait a minute. We're going to start out with Kaja Goo. Oh.
And then you've got Yellow from Ferris Bueller, and you've got...
You're not talking about orchestral maneuvers in the dark, OMD.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. Flesh for Lulu.
Yup. It's
Joe Turner, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Raspy Marvin Gaye.
So
wow.
I think we should do an honorable mention for Marvin Gaye because he did the soundtrack to a blaxploitation film called Troubled Man, which actually is a damn good film for that genre. The soundtrack to that is awesome. Shaft, Isaac Hayes, freaking awesome. Isaac Hayes, amazing. You know who else? We're going to have to do something on Mike Campbell from Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Petty.
That guy is probably one of the greatest musicians, and everybody wants him.
Yet, the critics know him. We know him. But he
not
is
everybody.
not that known. Now, he was, because Petty was rhythm, so he was lead guitar?
He was lead guitar and co-writer and singer. They've been together since they were...
Forever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The greatest soundtrack composer. Who do you think it is?
Soundtrack composer?
Yep. Creator of soundtracks for movies. He's your friend.
Oh.
From Oingo Boingo.
Danny Elfman.
Yup.
You and Matt, right? God, you say one thing. It's kind of like my buddy who loves Bruce, and I say, I never really got him.
Kirsten, who comes to the house and delivers my LPs. She's like, I like Oingo Boingo.
I don't hate Oingo Boingo. It's just and Danny Elfman is crazy talented. I give him tons of kudos.
How many do you think he's been?
Oh, how many he's
with?
done?
Yeah, associated with
100.
104.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me one bit.
F and A.
Now, was that mainly 80s, 90s? He's still doing it, I would assume.
Still doing it. I checked Wikipedia and he's doing it in the 2020s.
He's got the lightning in the bottle.
He knows how to do it. I mean, I haven't even heard of some of these films. The Wolfman, Wisdom, Midnight Run. That was a great film.
Great movie.
Men in Black 1, 2, and 3.
Wow.
Good Will Hunting, Goosebumps, Grinch, 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker, Edward Scissorhands. He did everything with Burton.
And you know what the best thing about it is? He doesn't have to leave the house.
No.
He doesn't have to go on tour. He's got the studio at his home, I'm sure. Bangs it out. All right, so Blues Brothers.
Yep.
Okay, came out.
Okay, Blues Brothers, I would buy that soundtrack and spin it.
1980, 19 songs. 1978, they released their first album, which was called Briefcase Full of Blues. Guess who took them on tour to warm up for them?
Not Sabbath.
No.
Am I in the right genre?
No.
Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet?
I was.
You're right, Chairman.
Bring those young kids out. Grateful Dead. The Dead brought them out on tour to warm up in 78. That's funny as hell.
Could you imagine if you could brag that you saw him at the Silverdome, the Pontiac Silverdome where the Detroit Lions played?
You saw the Blues Brothers and the Dead together. That goes back to our episode of
crazy combos.
Yeah, crazy combos. Yeah, Blues Brothers, Grateful Dead. I thought that was so funny.
That was a great album. But you know, he took all. What did they take? All the Stax guys. They brought Duck Dunn, Steve Cropper,
yeah, and a bunch of those guys.
Alan Jackson
played on the Saturday Night Live band.
Oh yeah, Matt Guitar Murphy.
Yeah, that would have been fun to see those guys on tour.
So I saw him with Neil Young. So I saw Cropper, Duck Dunn, Booker T, and Alan Jackson backing up Neil. It was great. I love Duck Dunn.
Oh,
Donald Duck Dunn is one of the best bass players out there. He is amazing.
But you know, it's crazy. You start doing this research, and it's like Blues Brothers came out in 1980. Belushi was dead in 82.
I know.
I mean, it was just boom, boom. And I just saw a thing on CBS News. So Aykroyd had a place down in the Village, and it was called the Holland Tunnel Blues Bar. And it was just a party space that he had. After Saturday Night Live was over, they'd all go over there and party till 5 o'clock in the morning. And they'd play music and all this. And so Aykroyd kind of knew how to play already, and they were trying to teach Belushi. So what they started out by doing with him was the guitarist, a guy by the name of Arlen Roth, taught Belushi the lyrics, one of the first songs, to Rocket 88.
The original rock and roll song.
To get him going.
Jackie Brunston.
That was one. But I was like...
And Ike Turner.
Right.
I also got a phone call from Barry Fires one day saying, don't stop doing the podcast. Because he goes, I'm laughing my ass off with these things. You had 2 people post it via your sister.
Yeah.
2 people posted on their Facebook.
Yep.
So people, pass us on, man.
And where did the Blues Brothers outfits come from? The style? John Lee Hooker. Now, John Lee Hooker wasn't wearing black suits, but he would have the crazy plaid pants, striped jacket, hat, glasses. And so they kind of modeled it after him, which I thought was kind of... The Grateful Dead thing, I'm still blown away. I'm still laughing my ass off about that.
You know, you got me. I think you win with the Blues Brothers. I mean, Jimmy Cliff, I think those 2. We're at 42 minutes, people. Your dog is exhausted. This has been a long walk.
And the last quote from the Blues Brothers movie? We have both kinds, country and Western.
I said that the other day. I said it somewhere literally within the last 24 hours, and someone said, "You've got what?" And I said,
"Country and Western."
I said, "Never mind."
Yeah, sorry.
Just a line from
Too
a
much.
movie.
Right. All right.
We are done.
Yep. See ya.
See ya. You know what, people? Sunny somewhere. Be optimistic.